H, and a couple little fixes here. Entrance is just fine. This first D is very nice. So G to D, look how much rotation we get. So Fred's move is just a sideways move, just staying forward but sideways. But the front, I really like how the front, the compress, rotates into that. It's amazing. That's good. Reminds me of the finish of an 11 sort of thing. And then when we build the G, I think that's too much, Felipe. That's too much rotation, Manuel, towards Fred. I think we need to make Fred work a little bit more. I mean, it's not a lot. Ideally, let's say here's the line. You can help a little bit, Felipe, but I would say come maybe about 50 centimeters forward. But pretty much there's the line. Main thing for you, Marconi, is not to go forward to that grip. Is to stay with your center point here and just rotate 45 degrees to the right. You can see what happens here, right? And it gets worse on some of them as well. So Marconi's going a little bit forward and running into Fred, whereas Fred should be coming into him. And then that rotation that happens there makes it a little bit tough on you, Felipe. Look, you've come from over here to over here. And yeah, it's unsustainable. There it is again, just too much rotation. And then into the G, it makes it harder then to get that rotation. The rotation should happen into the G, not into the D. You see how we're sliding into the D. So it should, we should basically place Fred and Manuel in between Felipe and Marconi. And I'm not saying that you know, well, the tiniest amount of forward, Felipe, the tiniest, but not so much, please, because we're going to end up moving around the tunnel then as well, which is going to be inefficient. And then, yeah, Marconi, you stay there, and it's Fred that needs to come into you. But that's the reason that's not happening is because of the rotation that's happening at the front of the G, you see, because Fred's trying to come around to here to pick up Manuel, and as he does that, his hips are moving away from Marconi. Yeah, I feel your frustration, guys. I think this last section, from what I remember, is a little bit better. So rotate into the G, and then put it in between Marconi and Felipe. There we go, into the G. So rotate into the D, and then let's see here from the H. So H. It's better, but it's still chasing. Felipe's chasing, Marconi's chasing. And then it just rotates away from Fred. So we want basically, yeah, we want to stay pretty much on the long axis. Fred comes in a fraction sideways, just a little sideways. If you need to even back up a tiny bit during the rotation, Marconi, that's totally acceptable, just to give these guys a little bit of a shorter move, just a tiny bit. And then Manuel, for you, that little bit of rotation to here, and then stopping with your, yeah, see, it's all happening here. And I don't mind if you pick up Felipe first, but that and a tiny move rotation, that's better than what it was. In fact, that's way better. That's probably the best G, guys. Let's stay on the positive side. But I think you can see the tension that's building in there if we don't do that move.